Hello and welcome, Liam, to our show. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the COO of ZooCoins. Can you tell us a little bit more about your role and what ZooCoins is?
Yeah, no worries. Thanks for having me, firstly, Alyssa. My role, COO, we've got a pretty small team of about 10 or so. Operations side, really just helping everything tick along within what we're doing and across departments, just keeping the team all working together, really. And a fair bit of business development, marketing, that side of things. So that's mostly what I do. ZooCoins itself. So ZooCoins is the native token built out on Split Chain, which is a new layer 1 protocol. So our founder, Alan Endres, who I think you've had a chat with already today, is quite the character, Alan. So in the early 2000s, Alan owned a piece of technology called SplitLock, which basically fragments data into small, tiny packets. And once blockchain started to emerge, our CTO came to Alan and said, you realize that we could use this SplitLock technology to fragment a blockchain so that the data relevant to each person on the network resides with them locally on their own device, in their own wallet, as opposed to on the blockchain itself. So it's a ground up rethink, really, of a different way to transact value compared to what I guess the industry's seen to date. So everyone's become, reasonably familiar with blockchain, and we've sort of come in with a new solution that we think is a better way to do that. We've been in development for 4 or 5 years now, and sort of stealth mode internally. And this is just our second conference where we're out, with some, some marketing objectives and meeting and greeting, meeting industry experts at a conference like this, and developing those relationships to, continue to build awareness and scale the project, basically, yeah.
Yeah, excellent. And so obviously blockchain security is a really big deal right now, obviously with the crash of FTX and, a few other things going on.
Yeah.
And so it would be a great idea to have a coin such as yours that is wallet to wallet, that isn't living on an exchange. And why do you think the industry needs that?
Well, I think you've nearly answered it yourself. I think we've seen in the last few weeks sort of the FTX crash and the outcomes of that with coins that were residing on an exchange. With ZooCoins, the coins will never reside on an exchange.
Mm-hmm.
They reside locally with the peers' wallets, and the exchange gets a read-only file of basically the balance within that wallet when transacting. So there's a number of things or industry issues, I guess, that we've tried to look at and overcome. Obviously, more broadly, crypto adoption is, people have been quite hesitant. It's a bit scary for them. There's challenges. So we've really tried to simplify things and ideally solve a few of those issues that people have experienced so that it's not so scary and that they do have the confidence to start to engage with a new way of transacting value.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And so what would you tell your friends or new clients why to get into crypto? If they're like, no, it's too high risk, it's not for me. What would you tell them to say to kind of reassure them that this is safe?
Yeah, well, it's a good question. I think doing your own education for a start, you need to understand what you're getting into. It's obviously a volatile industry, as we've seen. So, there's, different reasons for each individual to get involved. But, I've been working in this industry for probably 3 years or so now. Blockchain Web3 is going nowhere. It's only going to continue to develop and grow. So, which projects win out in the long run, only time will tell. But as I said, it's going nowhere. So I'd advise people to, start to educate themselves and get familiar and comfortable with these new pieces of technology, similar to, the internet 20 years ago, social media. We're still in the early stages, so it's really up to the individual. But as I say, I really don't believe it's going anywhere. So I just encourage people to start to learn about new technology.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And there's so many coins out there, obviously. There's coins that even become memes and then people start buying into them. Yeah. Well, how do you compete with other coins, and what do you tell people?
Yeah, good question. A lot of the coins that are out there already have been built out on existing layer 1 protocols, on Ethereum, for example. Mm-hmm. So our answer to that really is that we've built, as I said before, our own layer 1 system, which has ideally solved a number of issues or pain points that they may have experienced with other cryptocurrencies. Yeah.
And so for someone who doesn't understand anything about crypto, obviously, you've got Bitcoin and whatever. So when you say layer one, explain that to someone who wouldn't know.
Yeah, okay. So, good question. The easiest way to explain that really is that for something like Ethereum, there's the Ethereum layer one network, and then ETH is the native token built on top of that. And on top of that, there's a whole heap of other coins that are built on top of that, which would be called a layer 2 system. So they're built on top of Ethereum. So Split Chain is our own layer 1, with Zoocoin being the first use case that's been built out. As time develops and as other developers become aware of what we've built with Split Chain, there's going to be a whole heap of other decentralized applications that will be built out, and not by us. So the code will be open source, and developers that are building on other layer 1s that might be on Ethereum, on Solana, etc. In time, they'll get a white paper for Split Chain, and ideally look at that technology and think, perhaps this is an easier way for us to build these decentralized apps.
So you want people to get onto your technology. You want them to use it. You want them to remake their own. Okay.
Yeah, exactly right. It's going to be out there. Really, it comes back to solving industry issues, which we think we've done, and simplicity. We're trying to make it easier for people to build on top and to grow the industry as a whole. And hopefully, we certainly think that Split Chain is going to be a protocol, layer 1 protocol that enables people to do that.
Great. And who's your kind of target customer? Is it everyone, or are you looking at someone in particular and you're like, we want you, we want you?
Really good question. So again, coming back to simplicity, what we've seen to date is that you really do have to have, I guess, an in-depth understanding to feel comfortable with it. We've tried to make our wallet as simple as possible. We had a conference on the Gold Coast where we had people from age 15 to 85 transacting with the wallet.
You had an 85-year-old using a wallet.
100%. So the comment was made to us around the number of, I guess, older people that were interacting and using a Zoocoin wallet. There's really only 3 functions to it. It's incredibly simple. Buy, send, and paste. So if I would send you a transfer code, you'd paste it in your wallet. 90-second time cycle, settles. Yeah. It's really as simple as that. So
sounds hard to hack as well.
Yeah, it is. We could get the CTO in and you could dive deep into that. But I think Alan said in the keynote this morning that he'd challenge anyone to hack the system. He did.
He told a room of people that are probably hackers in there that you can challenge you to break into our wallets.
Yeah.
So he's very confident, which is great.
He's very confident. And at some point within, I guess, this development phase, we'll probably encourage that and really test the system. I'm not a developer myself, so I'm not going to dive deep into the technical side of things there. But yeah.
Well, ethical hacking is a great place to start. So if there's any ethical hackers out there, you know where to start. No, just kidding. But thank you, Liam. Thank you much for joining us today.
No worries,
and thank you.
Cheers. Thanks, guys.